Whoa, it's Minifigure Illusion here reporting from somewhere on Brick Ship Earth. What's going on, everybody? Just sitting here, getting ready to decompress after one of those interesting days on Spaceship Earth. Here we're going to click some bricks, yo. Reporting from a duty 365 days, dude. Thank you for joining, dude. Fired up, man. Tinfoil brick, my brother. Right on, dude. So dude, we're here, dude. Got 365 in the house. Chat is in the house. I'm in the house. It's 11:30 on the west coast of the United States of America. Truth heals. Do you want the fire hoses? You deleted my comment. You want the fire hoses? You deleted my comment. I don't know. Did I delete your comment? I don't know. Did I delete? When did I delete your comment? I don't know. Did I delete any comments? When did I delete a comment? I'm confused. Oh no, dude. You know what I'm not confused about is I need to get some here. Wait, I forgot. I need to get my battery charger cable. Oh, I forgot the old charger cable, man. Oops. I had everything prepped except everything prepared except the charger cable. I gotta hold on. Bear with me a second. I'm back. Wait a second. Why would I not be able to? There we are. We're back. Wait, just wait a second. I just make sure I'm charged. Sorry about that, you guys. I had to make sure my cable was charging. I've been having trouble with the cable, dude. My charging cable. All right, where are we at? You want fire? What's going on? We got two different 365s. Do you have any stories that take place in Idaho? Yes, I have stories that take place in Idaho. I do indeed. Offered you some $300 fire hoses for free in the comments section of your last. No, I didn't. I wouldn't have deleted that comment. Truth heals. I'm down for some fire hoses for free in comment section of last arson fire video. One's NYFD's brass or aluminum fittings. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. There's an email down below here. There's my emails down below. Contact via email. I'd be fired up on that. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Now it must have been YouTube because I wouldn't have deleted something like that. I don't think I deleted any comments today. I try not to delete comments, generally speaking. That's one of those things I don't really do. You got to really work. You got to really like work at me to get some. Yeah, dude. Let's. But if you can use them to save your house, I'm cool. Let's talk. Let's talk about it, dude. We'll communicate on that thing. Truth. I'd be fired up on that. For sure. It's real. So, dude, breaking news. Let's go get some. So we'll do the front part of this, dude, for the actual Lego channel. So this is the Sarlacc pit. I actually have the original one that I rebooted from the thrift stores. This is 75396, coming at 558 pieces. And it's part of the 25th anniversary, and it's got the exclusive minifigure nine nubs. There's the box. Boom. There's the pit. This one's gotten some questionable reviews, but we're gonna get in there on it and see what's going on. All right, the book it's a smallie. Oh, it's a two-parter. I don't think there should be any like sticker sheets. There's one of these though, dude. Coffee stir. And there's the second manual right there, which I gather is the Sarlacc pit. So let's see what's we'll start with 1, 2. Where's number bag 1? Number bag 1. There it is for the ASMR part of the video. Right there. I have a feeling it's going to be the Sarlacc pit. Lego sets are always fun. I don't get too into the downer reviews. I'm not that about it, dude. It's for fun, dude. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can get this. Dude, did I just bump it? Dude, what did I just do, dude? There we go. Swing. We got what we need going on there, I think. Seem to have a different angle. We good right there. Let's see. I think we're good. We could even pop it up a little. It's different. The camera is different than the actual screen. So dude, more interesting news on the arsonist who tried to burn, so the arsonist seriously tried to burn down the neighborhood, man. So I have the breaking news on the arsonist is it was an actual arsonist. I have a photo from across the lake of the 8 fires the dude started before it becomes the one big fire over here. So there's a shot from across the lake of the 8 individual fires. And then they caught the dude, and he's a Hawaiian. A Hawaiian dude is the guy who started the fires. And I got his name. There's the whole arrest report, the whole thing. Look at the Boba Fett. Where's his legs, dude? I don't know if this is a new Boba Fett, but look at that face right there, dude. And it's got scarring on the back. Legit, dude. Arm printing right there. Swing. So that's a pretty legit. I think it's the wrong Boba Fett, though. People get all crazy about it. I don't know. There it is right there. I got the antenna, but I'm not even gonna open the packet because I got a lot of those floating around. So we'll put Boba right there. Swing. Oh, he gets a blaster too. Where's his blaster? So the fire was started by some crazy Hawaiian dude. Go figure. And they caught him. They caught him because he wrecked his car in Kernville and rammed it into a rock, of all things. And yeah, so they busted the dude, which is, and I have all the, I got a bunch of, that's why I haven't made the video for it yet, because I was like, there's all sorts of news, and I'm trying to make a video because I found pictures from across the lake with the whole thing going on, and I was like, oh wow, I can make a pretty good video. And then the fact that we got the dude's name, and apparently he was starting fires in Hawaii too. No one was hurt. It was 88 acres in total, an 88-acre fire. It was called the Way Fire. I don't know what they got the name from. It was called the Way Fire. No one was hurt. No structures were lost. They handled the business of it super efficiently. But this is the interesting thing. So at about 7:30, I took Owl. I was like, Owl, let's go check out where the other fire spots were. Because the dude started like 8 different locations to get the one big fire. So I was like, let's drive around the corner and see and take a look at the whole thing, right? And so we went down, and there was some like smoldering spots on the hillside. So we went around the corner, and we were checking out some of the other burn spots that they put out pretty quick, and all of that. And then we came back, and when we were driving over there, there was like a group of Forest Service firefighters and some BLM firefighters sitting at the driveway from Camp 9 over here. Whatever, they were just sitting there. And then we drove back, and they were gone. And then Owl looked back up the thing. He's like, Dad, that the fire's gotten all, like that piece of fire like blew up. And I was like, what? So he's like, no, turn around, seriously. So we turned around, and there was like a full fire going on. I mean, in comparison to the giant fire that was there earlier, there was a big fire, but it was light enough where I could see that it was burning up against like this rock cliff. And on top of the rock cliff was a bunch of like open terrain that hadn't burned yet. So I called my firefighter buddies, because my one friend was the incident commander for the fire, who works for the Forest Service. My other friend works for the Forest Service, and her husband is at the local county firefighter. So I started making some phone calls, because I was like, I don't know, like there's no one around, and it seems like there's still a fire up there that could like potentially get out of hand, maybe, because the wind was starting to kick up. Like when it got dark, the wind was starting to whip up. And so I could see the way the wind was blowing was up over this little rocky outcropping to where there was a bunch of non-burned material. So I called my buddy. I couldn't get a hold of him, so I called his wife, and she's like, oh, he's on another fire. Let me call him. And I sent her a picture of what I was looking at, and she got a hold of her husband, and he called me back. And then my friend who works for the Forest Service, she called me back, and they're like, oh, we're sending out an engine and the whole thing. And so we were watching, and right as it was getting dark, they sent like a bunch of dudes up the side of the hill to put out the fire that we called about. and we weren't like I don't know, it was just one of those things where like we watched him and we were like, it wasn't a bad call because no one was like around. And so yeah, it was like a late evening. Like it, so we got into the house at like, because it's like right out my front, but we were down the street a little bit. And yeah, so it wasn't just over. And yeah, we're doing the thing, dude. We are doing the thing, which is taking responsibility for our reality, man. And so yeah, it was pretty cool. I actually like it's funny, like people always talk about like, I don't know, we're not powerless people. Like it's funny, like getting involved with the community, like I was able to call like pretty official people and be like, hey man, like I don't really know, but you might want to send someone out here because I'm not sensing that this is totally done yet. And then I was like sitting there, I'm like, for a moment, I was sort of like, am I bugging people? Like, I don't want to be a Karen, dude, about anything. And then I watched the dudes like in the dark with like their flashlights on and stuff, pull hoses up the side of the mountain to the one spot where I was like, that looks like a fire that could get out of control. So they thought the same thing, obviously, too. Without my, they get the name from the nearest road where it was reported, right? Yeah, but there's no, oh, the Wayfire, it's Sierra Way. I got it. It's the fire was on Sierra Way. That's how they got the name. Okay. I was wondering because I was like, there's no Way Street around here. Now it makes sense. All right. They got it Sierra Way. But yeah, so that was so I didn't actually get in to start editing the video yet. And then when I did actually mail out, I was like, let me go see what's going on Facebook, and I did that, and that's when I learned that the dude was a Hawaiian arsonist. We got a Hawaiian arsonist in Kernville, dude. Go figure. Go figure. Who would have thunk, right? Who would have thunk we would have had a Hawaiian arsonist? No. So yeah, that was kind of how we wrapped it up for the dude, I botched these. I gotta say, Owl was it was rad. Remember I told you our pastor moved away to Arkansas? He called. He's like, everything okay? I saw there's a fire in your front yard, basically. I thought that was pretty cool that our old pastor called up to check in on us. Dude. I thought that was a cool vibe. And so yeah, so I all in all, I felt I just made that. I don't know what that is, dude. Whatever that is. Are we what's going on, Cactus? Doing a little post-game analysis of the post day of action. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it all. It's sort of inspiring, if that makes any sense. I feel a little bit like fired up about everything. Yeah, that's a legit pastor, right? Like he's a cool dude. I'm pretty bummed he bailed. He was like a really kind of a nice guy. Like on just the straight, like like human vibe, like super cool dude, like a normal dude. I'm telling you, man, we had a pretty cool, some pretty cool conversations right before he left. I was bummed to see him go. The pastor hunt is it's going. I don't really know, dude. It's we have our temporary pastor in right now. He's cool, and then I guess we're looking, dude. I'm not on the search committee, so I don't really know, but I'm sure when we get a couple leads, we'll get informed, I think. I don't really know how it works, man. It's gonna be cool. It's interesting though, just the it's a definite change of vibe with the new pastor, that's for sure. Like, because he's not our official pastor, he's our interim pastor, which means that like he's not here to be like our real pastor. He's here to like transition us to the new pastor. No, I'm not at Calvary. We're Southern Baptist. I'm a Southern Baptist, yo. That's how I roll, man. And so it was cool. Like last Monday, the interim pastor he meets with all the members of the church and kind of interviews us and sees what we're all about, and you know he's a cool dude, man. He's a totally different style of a dude, though. That's for sure. He's like we were pretty lucky with our previous pastor. That I'll say that. Like that dude was rad. Pastor Ben was the man. All right, and let's see. All right. Sarlacc. It looks like we're making some Sarlacc pit here, yo. So yeah, so it was one of those trippy days where it started out at the church, and it kind of ended with a cool message from our old pastor, and it was like one of those sort of trippy days, man. Like, yeah, it was like a full show today. It was like it was very surreal. It was a surreal day today. Cause it was pretty real, but it wasn't. Like there was a real sense of danger, but there wasn't at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like when I saw the number of helicopters on the case, I was like, it's all going to be fine. And then the fact is that we had one of our friends was in a position of command in every one of the firefighting agencies that was deployed to the thing. Like we were on the phone with the incident commander for a little bit, dude. He called and checked up on us. Like we were out in the driveway and he honked. All right, here's the new Lando Calrissian minifigure. Look at that dude right there, the new Lando one. I'll do a video where I compare and contrast the last set. That's a pretty good Lando. The helmet's pretty sweet. There's Lando. He doesn't look like Lando, though. That does not look like Billy D. Williams, man. Does that look more like Billy D. Williams? I don't know, dude. And here's his sword. Wait, I got a text. All right, and so yeah, man, it was a good day. It's weird to say that, like, not really. I mean, I felt empowered today, if that makes any sense. Like, and I know it was like sort of like just weird in that sense of like all I really did was scrape a bunch of dirt with my tractor, but I had that moment of like, I think today, the win of today was, I had that moment where I was like, what am I going to do? And then I was like, okay, you need to just make a decision and begin to do what you know to do. Trust your intuition, if you will, right? And so that's what I did. And it was funny because the dude who came over with me from the church that I was working with today, he's an ex-wildland firefighter. So even the bro I brought with me was like a firefighter guy. Because we live in a full firefighter community. Like, most of the people up here are involved with either law enforcement or firefighting. So there's like it's a pretty like cool vibe on that level. A lot of sheriffs go to our church. And I mean, not a lot, a couple sheriffs go to our church. A bunch of firefighters go to our church though. So, you know, we got a lot of Jesus's firefighters, which I figure's like a really good thing to have in your corner, man. I mean, right? Like, I think that seems to be something you would want to have on your team. There's a bunch of Jesus's firefighters. And then the fact I actually caught the video of the arsonist in the high speed pursuit is kind of epic too, dude. Like, I did get the video, man. I got the video. So I'm sort of pumped about making my YouTube video tomorrow, dude. I haven't been that pumped because I got a bunch of good footage, man. I got a bunch of like helicopters and tankers and all sorts of good stuff. So I haven't had like a bunch of that kind of footage in a while. So that's pretty inspiring. That'll get you fired up. All right, to the Sarlacc pit. All righty, dude. I think I'm gonna finish up this number bag and call. I'm all of a sudden. That's why I came to do this tonight, was just decompress. So, Idaho stories. Who asked for Idaho stories, dude? Was it Truth Heals? Who asked for Idaho stories? All right, I have some Idaho. Let me think of an Idaho story. So, Idaho, dude, Idaho. I gotta kind of zero myself in because that was a long time ago. Idaho. I'm thinking. Most of my Idaho stories involve hot springs. I will say that. on the Salmon River, dude. I'm trying to like zero in. I asked about Idaho. I just listened to some guy ranting about Ruby Ridge. Yeah, that was pretty brutal, dude. But you know what? Yeah. Don't call that tune. That's making the contract. I'm always talking about you make your own contracts, man. Don't make the contract. If you really check out what happened up there, it was an consensual, unconsensual contract that was being made. But yeah, we don't need to get into that. So I'm thinking, all right. So if I'm thinking Idaho, I got to go back into the early 90s. I'm roaming around a lot. But see, I used to go to this place. I used to hang out with my friends who had a cabin in Alberton, Montana, dude, right? And Alberton, Montana was just over the Idaho border in Montana, right? So I gotta not do Idaho. I gotta not do Montana stories. Because I lived in Bozeman, Montana for a while. I did live in Los Angeles in the 90s for a hot moment. I did go snowboarding. I did get a season pass at Bridger Bowl for a season and lived in Bozeman for a while, for like 8 months, something like that. But again, that's Montana. That's not Idaho. But Idaho. So I was living in Montana, right? Bagby Hot Springs in Mount Hood. Bagby, Mount Hood. Yeah, probably. I used to go down and do the hot springs down in Bull of the Woods Wilderness. I forget what that one's called. I forget what that hot spring's called. But anyway, so I was so there was this town. There was these people that lived in the mountains somewhere. I forget, out of one of those towns. It wasn't Billings, because Billings is out east. It was one of those like in between Bozeman and Missoula towns. And so there was like a whole family up there. And we somehow, through one of our friends, had met one of the people from this like family. I forget what their names were, but they were like a whole, like one of those crazy, like old school, like giant families that lives out in the country, dude, that are crazy, dude. Everybody's like, oh, beware of those people type of stuff, right? So we had met one of them and befriended one of them. And this was back in our, Fish. This was back in Fish, Grateful Dead era of reality and whatever. And so we had met one of them. So me and my girlfriend, we were hot springing, not on the Salmon River, but you could take a different way. I'd have to look at the map. I want to say the way you go from, is it the 22? Whatever, I don't know, in the middle of Montana, in the middle of Idaho somewhere on the west side of the Continental Divide. Anyway, so we were all into natural hot springs back in the day. That was like our whole thing, was like go to like natural hot springs and be weird. And so we pull up at this hot spring, right? and it's like it's a couple miles hike into the wilderness there. And so we get our stuff to go hiking on the trail. And there had been this like weird localized weather event that had basically been like a mini hurricane, or like but it wasn't a water spout. It was like a mini tornado or something in the forest, right? And it had been in this canyon, and it had knocked over all the trees in this canyon, right? To this hot springs. But the way it had done it was it had knocked over all these trees, and it had been pretty recent because they were all still green and whatever. And all the big trees had fallen over this canyon and interlocked and made like a canopy, if you will, right? Had interlocked. And so you couldn't walk on the trail. So we were just like, all right, well, this was back when we didn't know any better or care. We were just doing our thing, right? So we're like, let's get to the hot springs. So like hot springs is up that canyon. So we hiked through it. We didn't really get the idea that there was just trees down everywhere, and they were all over the thing. So we start walking on like these big old growth trees, Doug firs or whatever they were, that were all over the thing, and just, following them. And then we stopped like halfway down halfway up this canyon. And I was standing there, and we were drinking some water, sitting on one of these logs woven in with all these other trees, right? And like, you got to understand, all the boughs were there. So there was like a trees and just boughs, and like it was all just covered. And I was sitting there, and I looked down, and I was like, I could see through the boughs, and I was like, whoa, man, like we're like 60 feet up, dude. We were like up in the air, like really far up in the air. And what had happened was, it was a super tight canyon, and all the trees had blown over and formed this lattice. And because it was a localized like tornado, basically, it had spun all the trees around, and they had woven themselves into this thing. And we looked down, and we realized we were like 60 feet up in the air, like walking in the like way up there. But you wouldn't have known until you like stopped and kind of looked through the boughs. And I just remember it wasn't like scary or weird. It was just trippy, dude. And so we get out to this hot spring. And this hot spring is like on the side of this like rock. Like there's like this giant rock, if I recall, in the forest, right? And on the side of this rock was sort of this built up, hot spring, where people would put, rocks and stack the rocks, and then there are hot springs. And we were in there hanging out, and this other older couple showed up, right? And we were there, so there was the four of us sitting in the hot spring, everybody all naked, like you do in a natural hot spring, because it goes against the rules to wear a swimsuit in a natural hot springs out in the middle of the woods. It's weird, right? And so we were sitting there talking to these people, and they were like, we're in Idaho, right? And they're like, we're like, and somehow we're like, yeah, we live in Bozeman, and we're going to Portland and whatever. Or maybe we were just going to Portland. We lived in Portland a lot during that period, right? And so whatever, we're talking to these people, and all of a sudden everything's super casual and cordial and whatever. And then we get to talking about Montana, and I was like, yeah, we hang out with this dude, and I forgot what their last name was, dude. This whole family of people, they all had this like distinct last name. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm just casually talking, yeah, so and we hung out with that so, and they're part of this crazy family, and they were like, all of a sudden, like the conversation just e-breaks, and these people are like, who did you say? And we're like, da da so, and they're like, you know one of them, and we're like, yeah, like, of course, dude. And these people like twitched out and were like horrified. It was like one of those weird moments where like these people were like in fear of these other people. And I guess they were like some sort of crazy hillbillies or something, but it was just weird because we knew this dude just from the, drinking and drugging and just whatever. But apparently this whole family was just a bunch of like marauding pirates that inhabited this mountain outside of this town somewhere in Montana. I can't remember what was their names, man. I can't remember it. But I just remember it just so distinctly this one day, just because of the weirdness with the forest and the weird localized event, and how we just happened to be there like right after the storm had happened, and just sitting in this hot spring and having these people just get so uncomfortable. It was sort of beautiful in one sense because they just got so utterly uncomfortable. Like you couldn't have. It was really weird that we knew these people that would cause this level of discomfort. And we were out in Idaho. I have some more Idaho stories, dude, but I don't really remember them right now. They all have to do with hot springs, dude. There's the one where I ate all the crazy acid at Goldbug Hot Springs, dude. That's a different story. The Tree of Life and Death, that's a different story. The one dude I still know is still out there battling to save old growth forests in Idaho. This dude, Op. That dude was gnarly. But I think that's all I got for today, right now. I'm like, that's why I do the Legos at night, is just to decompress and mellow out. If you want, you can join. There's a link down below for the screen if you're on YouTube. But if you're on your mobile device, there's also a link down below if you want to be a member and support your favorite Lego talker, brick talker, bricktastic talker, and do what YouTube doesn't want to do, which is support its content creators. But with that said, we've finished up part one of the live build of the Sarlacc pit here on what's going on, Bethel? You just shut up just in time to say goodbye, dude. You're just getting up, dude. But what's up, political gamer? And I flew into Billings once, dude. Craziest airport I've ever flown into, dude. Flying into Billings was a trip, dude. Anyway, I'm going to get going here. I'm super tired. I fully ran out of steam, and that's what's going on here. So with that said, good night, good bricking, and where's minifigure me? Minifigure me is keep on clicking to the bright side. And with that said, we'll be back and finish up this thing. I think Owl and I are going to do a review. We've been totally working on a little teaser here for the members. I'm gonna do a members tour of the. We've been setting up our Lego city, dude. We've been building a bunch of scenes and stuff. Owl's been spearheading that, but we'll do a tour of what we've been up to with our character placement and all that kind of stuff. So, with that said, we'll do a little bit of that, and then with that said, God has blessed us with fantastic plastic bricks, dude. What more could you want? Bethel, have a wonderful day. Everybody else, have a wonderful day, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever we are on spaceship, brick ship, Earth. With that said, good night. Keep on bricking.